Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee, and this is my channel where I like to talk about all the things that I've been knitting on over the past week. Today is Sunday, October 19th, and this is episode 111. You can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee S Knits. And today I'm coming to you from Southwest Wyoming, where I live with my husband, our daughter, and our little Yorkie, Dax. It is currently almost 3 o'clock. It's taken me a little while to get started today. It is 65 degrees outside, and it's probably about 73, 74 inside my house right now. I've got a couple windows open to get some breeze going and some nice fresh air. I did get a sinus infection over this past week. I went to the doctor and got some antibiotics, so now I'm feeling so much better. I am wearing my Maema today with the 3/4 length sleeves. This is knit with a honeycomb brioche pattern on the front panel, the back panel, and then the sleeves are just straight stockinette. It's got twisted rib along all of the edges. I did this with a knit 2 through the back loop bind off. When I did this for a stretchy bind off, it is let's see, I don't know if you can see that. It goes past the pockets on my jeans, so it is a little bit longer, which I like. This is knit with Mama Jess Knits yarn. This was her April colorway for her mystery sock set, and I just purchased 3 of them. This is shades of purple. I will link my project page in the description box below. Everything I talk about should be linked in this description box below. I will link my project page and any of the bag makers pages I can below, with a little description on which bag I was using. And then I will try to link to the shop where I bought the yarn. Not every color will be available for purchase through each shop, because they do have different collections throughout the year, and some they bring back and some are just for that season. So let's get started on what I have made this week, what I've worked on this week. I don't have any finished objects, and I think I wrote down, I have 7 works in progress to talk about this week. I added a new work in progress, I think yesterday. So let's start with the first thing. I finished the first sock for my Halloween socks. I'm just doing a vanilla sock. I used the vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars pattern from the Crazy Sock Lady. I was right here last time. I put in a contrast heel and heel turn and a contrast toe. I did a pop of color on the top. So I started with a German twisted cast on. I cast on 64 stitches. I did 5 rounds in this gray color, and then I did a knit round, and then I did 5 rounds in the gray color. I added my speckled color, and when I added my speckled color, I knit 1 straight round. Then I went back to the ribbing, so then you don't have the purl bump section. And then I finished out, so I have 20 rounds of ribbing. And then I went into vanilla stockinette until I got to the heel. I did 70 rounds. I have my stitch markers here. I did 70 rounds, put in a different color stitch marker, put in my heel, and then I counted, after I put in my stitch marker, I I just keep counting 10. So these two rows, these two markers are still part of my gusset decreases. And then I finished, and I think I did 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 74 rounds for the leg, and then I started the green color for my toe. And the toe I do is the one that's in the vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars from the Crazy Sock Lady. You knit, you do a decrease round, then a plain knit round, decrease round, plain knit round, until I get to 16 stitches on the front needle and the back needle, and then I decrease every round until I get to 8 stitches on the front and 8 stitches on the back, and then I Kitchener the toe. So this has been living in my Molly Klein Designs bag. I got this a couple of years ago. And I am using my Mama Jess knits in the Trick or Treat color. This is the speckled color. And I have oh, I'm all tangled. Let's see. There we go. I have started the second sock. So I got my 5 rows of the gray, one knit row, and then I have not finished the ribbing yet. So I finished off the toe this morning and then cast on the second sock. And I'm using contrast colors from Mama Jess Knits. She had a mini skein set, a 5 20-gram mini set that was also called Trick or Treat, and it came with these colors. So I will make a scrappy pair using these ones, but I wanted to use these for my contrast on my first sock. And those are living in my bag that I got from Happy Mermaid Yarn Co. last year. So I will link their Etsy shop below also. I'm not sure which bags they have, but they do have some bags in their shop. So that was my first work in progress. The second one is also another sock. This is also a Happy Mermaid Yarn Co. bag. This came with a sock set that I got a couple years ago. And I am using my Blackbird Sycamore yarn and the color Inky. And this sock is the Stack of Books by Sock Witchery. And I was right here last time. I'm doing all of my socks on 9-inch circular needles on a size 1. I think I checked my gauge and I'm getting about 8 stitches per inch when I do stockinette. So I was just right here last time. I have put on a few more rows. These are for a birthday gift. And I wasn't quite sure when her birthday was. Her daughter picked out this color for her. And I thought for sure her birthday was beginning to mid-November. And I thought, oh, I gotta have these done. I texted her daughter the other day and she said, oh no, it's at the end of December. And I was like, oh, okay. I have a while to get these finished. I have about 2 months to finish these. So these will probably be finished after my next Halloween socks. but this is the stack of books. I started with 64 stitches with a German twisted cast on. I did 20 rounds for the cuff, and then I started in on the pattern. This is a broken rib pattern, and so that got just a little bit of work this week. Then the next thing I worked on is in my Klein Designs, Mountain State Stitches bag. I am using some Knit Picks Fettuccine, in the color Lemon Bar. And these ones are for my mother-in-law. And I did a few more rows. Got almost a whole repeat done. I am doing the String of Lights pattern on these. I like the String of Lights pattern on self-striping yarn. It just breaks it up just a little bit. I also did 64 stitches with the German twisted cast on, 20 rounds for the rib, and then went right into the pattern. I will do 70 rounds for each leg on both of these socks. So that one is going. These will be for Christmas. And that was all the socks I worked on this time. The next thing I'll show you is my Maude sweater by Cheryl Mokhtari, and I think she is Coco Amore Knitwear on Instagram. I just had a couple rows left, well, a few rows left on the ribbing last time. I did a tubular bind off. I did do the setup rows on this one. I wanted to try it and see what I thought about it. It's not bad. It's just 2 extra rows of ribbing. So I did the sewn tubular bind off on that one, picked up stitches for the sleeve. So I picked up these stitches right here, and there's some short row shaping with this divider. Then you do some more lace, you do a knit purl section, the next divider, and then some double moss stitch again. I think I am almost ready for the ribbing. Maybe. I'm going to try this on and then see how much longer I need to make it for the ribbing on the cuff. So I'm close to finished on one sleeve. I am doing the 3rd size. I'm holding these 2 yarns together, and I'll show you which ones those are. I'm using the Yarn Bee in the color Unicorn Horn. Let's see, yep, it says right there. And then I'm using some Knit Picks Aloft in the color Cosmopolitan, holding these 2 together to get this beautiful pink sweater. I think I could probably have this done in 1 to 2 weeks. I am so excited to have this done. I'm not sure if I will share this with my daughter or if I will keep it for myself. She is about the same size as me. I think I knit all of her things 1 size smaller than mine. But I can't wait to have that one done. I've been working on that one for a while. And then the next thing, oh, it's living in my Della Q Oh Snap bag from the Yarn and the Tail that I got at my local yarn store day when I went in April. And then I have a Bags by Awesome Granny. And this one, I love this one. This one is the Doppio sweater by Seunghee. You hold 3 yarns together. I chose, let's see, can I reach all of them? 2 Knit Picks Melissa's yarns. I think this one is Dusky Petal Vintage Rose, and then I had, someone had sent me this Cake Wool Co. yarn in the color Russian Dressing. And I held these ones together to make this beautiful color, and I think I am going to love it. It's supposed to be a little oversized. You do a faux seam on the side where you do like a purl row in between, and then this just adds a little bit of structure when you come back and seam it. It just helps your garment have a little bit more structure. It does have some waist shaping or some body shaping, and so I have done the first decrease round, and then you knit some more, do another decrease round, and then I think you're onto your ribbing. So I could probably have the body of this finished in this upcoming week if I work on it. I've got my Twice Shared Sheep row counter. This is the large size, and then I got some cute little frog stitch stoppers. And then the next thing I worked on was in this bag. This is also a Bags by Awesome Granny. You've seen this project before, but I did work on it a little bit more. Let's see, there it is. My progress keeper, I was right here last time, so I did just a few more rounds. I am using the Tiltorch Knits 2023 and 2024 countdowns. They were a 21-day countdown, and I'm just switching back and forth between the two. The first color was the 2023 day 21. The second color was the 2024 day 21. And then this was day 20 from 2023 and day 20 from 2024. So it's getting a little bit of work here and there. I am almost finished. I think I probably can do 2, maybe 3 more passes, and then I will switch to this color from the 2023. And then the last thing, I grabbed my Stitch Quest bag that has my needles for a Musselburgh. I think this is Katie's Randomness. It's got this nice pocket in the front. Oh, I have my Cascade Heritage tag from the last Musselburgh hat I made. This one I am using Ridiculous Yarns, and this color is Witch's Brew. I needed something stockinette in the round where I didn't have to stop and think about a heel, stop and think about how long have I knit this. So this gorgeous purple and green and pink color is going to be my newest Musselburgh hat. I cast on yesterday while I was watching Practical Magic, and I got past the increases. This is where I did my very last increase round, and so now I am on a 16-inch size 1.5. So a 1.5 is a 2.5 millimeter needle. And I started on Magic Loop to do all of the increases and decreases. I use the Pinhole Cast On by Amba O'Brien, and that will be linked. I think I linked it on my project page. If not, I will also link it in the description box below. But I have started just the plain stockinette. I was sitting there last night. On Thursday, I didn't feel great when I went to school. Thursday night, after I was getting ready for bed, and my nose was just clogged and runny, and I woke up the next morning and my ear hurt, my jaw hurt. And so Saturday I called our teledoc, and I was able to get a prescription antibiotic, and I took that yesterday, and I am feeling so much better today. But last night as I was sitting there, I was like, I cannot think about socks and following a pattern, and I want to move my hands, but I don't want to think about anything. And so I was like, I have this yarn I've had caked up for a Musselburgh since probably, I think I caked it up for socks last Halloween when I caked up my Momma Jess yarn, and I'd caked it up, I put it in a bag, I was just waiting to cast it on, and I didn't get it cast on before Halloween, I didn't get it cast on before my birthday. The first of the year rolled around, and I was like, oh, I'll make a Musselburgh out of that, and then I'll have a new Musselburgh to wear. So I'll make that, so when it gets chilly again, I will have a new hat to wear. And it sat, and it sat, and it sat, and I moved it to a different bag. I got all of my needles ready for it, and it sat some more, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna cast it on. And so I needed something that I could just work plain knitting and just keep going in the round over and over and over. I didn't have to look at my hands, I didn't have to think about my stitches, I just didn't have to think about it as I was knitting. And a Musselburgh is perfect for me on 18 or 16-inch circular needles. You just go around and around and around and around, I measured my gauge and I'm getting 8 stitches per inch on a US size 1.5, did I say 2.5 millimeter? Yes, 2.5 millimeter needle. That is the gauge that I like for a Musselburgh hat. I don't like them too loose and too airy because I think it is too cold, and I don't like the airy fabric that I get on anything bigger than a 1.5. So I have this, and I have some Cascade Heritage in the black that I'm going to be casting on another Musselburgh for my husband so I can give that to him for Christmas. He wants a black Musselburgh hat. So I have this going for when I need it. I don't know if I'll just work on this every once in a while or if I'll just work on this a lot. I don't care if it's finished before Halloween this year. I think I love these colors, and they don't scream, uh-oh, I lost a stitch. They don't scream Halloween to me, and so I think this would be nice all year round, all winter anyway. So I have that one. I will just keep working away on that, and that was all I worked on this week. I did get my Mama Jess October yarn. This is called Pumpkin Patch, and the mini is called Pumpkin. I love this one. Orange is not my favorite color, but it is growing on me. Oh, I love that part. So, these will eventually be a pair of socks. I think what I'm going to do is knit a pair of socks of all of my Mama Jess sock sets and then put the leftovers into a blanket. Not sure which blanket I want to do yet, but I think I want to put the leftovers into a blanket. And that is everything I had for you guys today. Thank you if you have been here for a while and you are subscribed and you come back. Thank you if you are new here and you want to see more of this content and you hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment in the comment box, and I will see you next week. Happy knitting!